Here's a challenge to any member of the Banya family. If you are listening to this right now, I will personally mail you $5 in cash. $5. All you have to say is the phrase "pumpernickel" to me, and $5 will be yours.
It's that time again. Time for the all-new Culture Cast, which begins right now. Well, welcome back, everyone, to the all-new Culture Cast. I'm your host, Nick, and with me tonight is, of course, Cousin Charles.
Live from the kitchen. Hey, everybody.
So tonight we're a week late and $1 short, or time is relative, so maybe we're right on time and everyone else was late. But we're going to talk about San Diego Comic-Con.
We don't knee-jerk react. We very slowly react. The doctor's quite concerned. The knee was tapped a week ago, and we just are now kicking.
So as of this recording, San Diego Comic-Con wrapped up about a week ago, and every year they have big announcements, or the idea is they're supposed to have big announcements, but I don't know about you, because I feel like the last couple of years, and this year included, the big announcements have been sort of lackluster. What are your thoughts on that?
I'm not going to argue with that. I would say I definitely feel like there's not really the holy shit news that I remember when I was like in college, like 10 years ago. Like, right. I remember early 2010s, again, MCU is really building up steam. Warner Brothers is trying to get their own thing off the ground. When I was in college, my dream, and it still is a dream of mine, is to go to San Diego Comic-Con. Spend those grueling hours in Hall H, go through all the different vendors, see all the different panels. Just once, just to say I did it.
I have like zero desire to go to any of that. And this is someone who enjoys going to conventions. It's like one, the tickets are, I guess the tickets might be fine, fair priced, I don't know. But like, it's like you gotta get a plane ticket, and then you gotta get a hotel, and all that stuff is so expensive. And it's like, and like, I don't want to do any of that. You gotta fight the crowds, and like, I could. All the news that comes out, like, I could get that from the comfort of my own home.
Well, I hate to say, like, I know this is going to sound really bad. I know that some comedians who are like, put your cell phones in like these types of like bags that you can't like get a signal out of or something like that. Like they're like lead lined. And I'm not saying that the people at Comic-Con should do this, but pretty quickly after it was probably premiered in real life, I saw the teaser trailer for the Fantastic Four. Watch from somebody's cell phone angle. But I'm just saying, if you want to preserve the sanctity of like the exclusiveness, make everybody put their cell phones in a bag, or like lock it up. No cameras at all.
I wouldn't be surprised if they
implement something
want
like that.
People to leak some of that out, just to like I don't know, just to add to some of that, but I don't know. I
will say this. This past weekend, again, talking about it a week late, I did finally watch the new Deadpool movie. That whole franchise exists because more or less, I'm pretty sure Ryan Reynolds leaked the screen test online. Allegedly. And like people are like, "Hey, this looks really good. I'd like to watch this."
That's a whole discussion in itself. The original Deadpool movie and how they got made, but like I remember,
Rick,
what's that?
Well, you did like, oh geez, and I was thinking of Rick and Morty.
Oh, I don't watch Rick and Morty. I don't know.
I guess I'm just with the cool kids. like my fellow Gen Zers.
I don't watch Rick and Morty ever since they canceled what's his face because I'm protesting it. I'm protesting it.
To be fair, that show.
I'm gonna hate watch it now.
That show went from season 1 underground comedy thing to like season 2 mega hit, and then just has been ballooning ever since.
And here's the thing.
Toxic.
And I feel the same way about Doctor Who. It's like the fans ruin it for me. It's like
I was one of those fans for a while.
You know, fair enough. And I'm sure I had my things as well. But like it's kind of like, hey, do you watch Doctor Who? Oh no. Why not? What the fuck's wrong with you, asshole? It's like, whoa, settle down, Sheldon. I just don't watch. I'm sorry, it's not for me. Well, you don't like good TV? I'm like, it's not for me. I'm sorry.
It
makes me like not want to watch it even more. And yeah.
Well, at that point, it's just principle. It's just straight up principle.
It really is. And like Rick and Morty fans like that. Like I remember McDonald's had like a promotion a few years back about that Szechuan sauce. And like they ran out or something, and like the people went there were rioting the stores or something like insane. Yeah. It's like, whoa, who gives a shit? Like really? It's not even that good of a sauce probably to begin with. This is nothing to get angry over.
Cringe is or embarrassment is temporary. Cringe is forever. All right, it's all for the memes, straight memes, clicks. That's what it's all about.
Anyway, getting back to Comic Cons and everything, I go to my local C2E2, which. Even that, I get maybe I'm just getting old and crabby that like I go to these things, I'm just like I'm not as excited or fulfilled as I used to be, but I don't know.
Well, I think also, I mean, I still listed in kind of like I'm an older stallion of now 30, so I still hold on to as like one of my childhood as like a young man's dream, like just to be at San Diego Comic-Con, just to say I was there. Like like Samwise in the Shire. Just to taste it, Mr. Frodo. Just to get there.
Do it now before if you ever have kids, because once that happens, just forget about it for like the next 10 years.
Oh, I figure I have got an evil genius plan because I'm a big kid at heart. I'm just going to use them as excuses. Like, they want to do it. Hands are tied. We got to go.
You can, but like you're going to have to like wait for like a good 10 years before you could use that as an excuse. Your 3-year-old is not going to give a shit about San Diego Comic-Con.
She can barely string 2 sentences together. Oh, she's going to say Galactic Star Cruiser and Disney stock price. I also did want to kind of, since we're kind of just free-forming it, I think the biggest thing
we're like
is
jazz.
Oh, that's good. That's a good description. We should we're folks, we're reworking the show as we're
real time.
We're actively patching the holes in the ship as we're sailing full ahead.
And making more holes as we go.
Exactly. Like we hammer down, then the hammer goes back into the other side.
A pure Simpsons thing.
Yeah. But I was going to say, I think the biggest thing, like C2E2, you brought up, and I think because that's relatively recent, recent in the big comic book convention circuits,
they came onto the scene in 2009, 2010, thereabouts.
Yeah, and I think it's kind of you got it's kind of I'm trying to think the best way to describe it. Like if a singer's doing a residency in Vegas, you're like, oh shit, they made it. But then if the singer's doing a residency at some local dive bar, you're like, oh man, how far they've fallen. You know what I mean? It's kind of and I think the same thing can be applied to comic book conventions, because there are plenty of comic book conventions, coast to coast, local ones, big cities. But I think in the last couple of years, there's been a rise of of like comic book conventions trying to be these big cultural events. Like before, like for like a lot of dorks and stuff like that, mouth breathers, neck beards. San Diego Comic Con was the big thing. And then now there's New York Comic Con. Now there's C2E2. And don't forget about Disney, Disney 23. And probably a whole half a dozen other industry and like other events that are made up that kind of where now it's like, well, we can't just dump all of our big exclusives at one thing. We have to like now piecemeal it throughout the year because it's like we got to make sure we got a presence here, a presence here, presence here. We can't just, that's why I think Comic Con used to be the big thing. Going back to the early 2010s was because like all the information, all the big info was going to be dumped here at once, and now it's like maybe we'll get a trailer posted, maybe, or another one, the Super Bowl. That used to be a big thing, and now it's kind of like there's trailers for trailers that have trailers.
Right.
It's not. It can't just be like, oh, just wait till the Super Bowl. It's like, oh my God, that's great. It's like we already know it's going to happen. You can't even guess what the movie is.
Or they'll release the commercial before the actual Super Bowl, like the full-on thing.
Yeah. Or they'll release it a week ahead of time. It's called the big game ad. Which can we get past that as a society? Is the NFL really that fucking? Is the NFL that petty?
It's so crazy because I did not know this for the longest time, up until like my late 20s. Mostly because I probably didn't care, but they like the Super Bowl name is like trademarked by the NFL,
right?
And you can't use it unless and then if you do, you get in like deep shit trouble, I guess. And I guess the NFL is that petty about it.
Yeah, it's kind of like the people who it's like at some point in society, the people, I guess, whenever Happy Birthday went into the public domain, and then restaurant can stop doing happy, 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 hey, 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 they could actually sing the fucking song from start to finish. Because apparently those lyrics are sacred and an industry standard or something.
Hey, I don't know. But going back, a lot of those Comic-Con things now, like you mentioned, New York Comic-Con, C2E2, there's Emerald City Comic-Con, Florida SuperCon. They're all owned by Star Wars Celebration.
I forgot about that one.
They're all owned by like the same company. There's Reed
really?
Pop. Now, San Diego is owned by a different company. I'm not sure which one. So they're separate. And then there's Fan Expo, which bought out Wizard World, and they do a ton of events as well. I can't think of who the head owner of that is. Fan Expo. But they own like it's I've turned a page here, I've turned a page because originally about 10-15 years ago, my buddy Zach, who I used to do podcasting with, he made a comment how C2E2 was so commercial. And I said, these things have always been commercial, but like now I'm kind of like with him in the sense that not that they're so commercial, but they're just so corporate, I guess. Like you go to one, you've gone to all of them. Like there's nothing unique about the different ones except maybe the location, and it's just so cookie cutter about how they have things. I don't know.
Well, it's like there was I think there's a YouTube video by the YouTuber Patrick Willems, and I think they were having a discussion about like it was into with Marvel, and they were using the analogy of like McDonald's cheeseburgers. How it's amazing that you could get a McDonald's cheeseburger here in America and then a McDonald's cheeseburger in Japan, and it's the exact same cheeseburger. They're able to maintain that level of quality across a huge, vast empire. But then the problem is you're stuck with the same quality of cheeseburger. There's not going to be any difference or anything like that. Where it's like you got to impress it for the practicality and the structuring, but after a time, people start to notice it's just It's just this. So basically, don't go to don't go to conventions. Go to your local anime/furry hookups or meetups. Because that's where the real people are. I know I've got my fursuit ready to go. They called me Wild Fang. You'll never guess where the Fang is.
Heyo. Anyway, that's my take. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Seeing the videos of C2E2 San Diego, it probably does look fun. I'm probably just an old fart now and don't want to spend the money because I'm poor and cheap.
Well, I'm on my way to being an old fart, so I'm halfway to agreeing with you. But I still hold on to that kernel of youth and innocence. Like I
hang
even
on
had
to it as long as you can.
Yeah, I'm gripping it tight.
But anyway, let's jump into some of these things. So we're going to talk about C2F. God damn it, San Diego Comic-Con 2024. Some of the bigger events.
SDCC.
I don't know if we. What's that? SDCC.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, I don't know if we mentioned this before we started recording or after, but I think, like, overall, I felt like kind of the announcements were sort of I mean, there was one big one which we will go into. Maybe we'll save that for last because I feel we'll have a lot of talk about that.
Yeah.
But I felt like a lot of the announcements and revelations were kind of like, oh, okay. And like you said, years ago, Marvel used to put up a big panel and everyone was excited about. DC was trying to get their shit together and
oh, it was exciting. Well, because I think that's when I'm pretty sure Comic-Con was like the play. People make fun of the roadmap of movies, so to speak. Mm-hmm. And I'm pretty sure, again, internet, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure Comic-Con is where they first unveiled that. The idea of that image.
It could be, yeah.
And now I think they use it pretty much at like. I think it's more or less for their like Disney expos and stuff like that. So it's like not quite the same.
Right.
Or it's been overdone at this point.
Yeah, probably because I know as of a few years ago when they did the when they announced the Kang Dynasty and everything, they kind of brought that back, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think Disney, and see, that's the thing. Like one of the things I have on my list, I got a list here. It's a digital list, not a paper one. Is that there was lackluster Star Wars news, and I don't know, which is surprising for two reasons. It kind of feels like there seems to be a change in Disney right now, where they're trying to restructure how they deliver content. Like there's been like a shit ton of Marvel shows, a shit ton of Star Wars shows, so many projects announced that never went anywhere for a variety of reasons, and that was like kind of under the old regime of Bob who is it? Bob Chapek, who wanted like we need all this stuff for the streaming services. That's my impression of Bob Chapek. Yeah. I don't know what he actually sounds like. And then like he was fired, and Bob Iger was like, okay, let's not do all that stuff. Let's dial it back a little bit and see if we could right the ship a little bit.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised they wouldn't want to start like discussing that. But and also with the Star Wars thing, they just finished up with the Acolyte, which got middling reviews at best, and you think they would want to like sort of like let's forget about that by announcing the new stuff we're having that we can get people excited about. I don't know.
I think when the Acolyte was announced, I'm almost positive they announced it was like alongside a shit ton of other like show ideas that they had. Mm-hmm. Like I think that's when they're like another Clone Wars follow up in the Bad Batch, the Ahsoka show. I think there's still one supposed to be coming out with Jude Law called The Skeleton Crew or something
Yeah,
like
that's
that.
coming out this December. I think they might have released a trailer on that. I'm not sure.
I'm sure. But yeah, I remember it was, and so I've yet to see The Acolyte. I get, so I won't immediately jump onto the internet of show bad, show woke. I'm like, I'll genuinely watch it on its own merits. Like,
I have heard, and
mm-hmm.
this seems to be a common theme I'm noticing, that the show would be way better if they edited it down to like a 2.5 hour movie, which seems to be a reoccurring thing with a lot of these things. Like, remember about like a year or so ago, someone edited the Obi-Wan Kenobi series into like
Yeah,
a 2 hour movie, and people were like, "Wow, this is actually pretty good." And when it's delivered like that,
because it's paced, because it's not dragging the point. It's getting to
right?
it's getting to the actual core story. Um, I mean, I still remember. I will say all the streaming shows for Marvel. I get. Um, I feel like somehow, or it's weird to say, but it's like they're the products of a style of thinking in the because I guess I'm trying to think. For the longest time, Netflix was your only streaming option, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm trying to think who really started. If it was Amazon or if it was Disney themselves or Hulu. I mean, Hulu was around too, but nowhere near. I think because at the time it was like I remember Hulu may have been around just as long as uh Netflix. I don't know.
I don't know what time Hulu started, but it seemed to be like a
From
like the younger sibling to Netflix.
yeah, from like 2018 through 2022, it seemed like there was a change in that somebody, streaming went from like an afterthought of the entire entertainment industry to suddenly the focal point. And suddenly the people who owned these streaming services were like, what do we own that we don't have to buy from other places? Like
Right.
what's within our own house? So there was like this idea that we need to protect our assets that are within our house. The less stuff we have to buy out, that will save us money in the long term, is like what the thought process was. And so that's where we get like this explosion of like, you know, Hulu original. Because I think at one point Hulu only had like 7 original shows, and one of them was Handmaid's Tale. And now there's like they're trying several hundred Hulu originals. Netflix has just been, again, they still buy stuff, but they're still are like throw money at the wall and try to come up with as much, original stuff as possible. Um, but then, and I think so. I want to say the victim. The results of that were all the Disney stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and then which again we're mostly talking superheroes, but a lot of, and I know there were some Disney Plus originals, which some of them now are no longer available. So I hope to the 2 people who watched the Willow sequel series, hope you enjoyed it. You have to write it down so future generations can remember it. Um,
I
but
don't get that. I don't understand the economics of streaming services where they're going to take off like original programming that's theirs. Like, are they losing money by just keeping it on the service? I don't know.
I think it's, well, because I know this was brought up at one point. Again, this is how weird our reality is. Brought up by a congressman, because they were like, this practice I think is kind of maybe should be looked at if it's illegal, because it's kind of like burning the house down for insurance money, which is not entirely wrong, because again, I think during this era we got the announcement of like again 2018 to 2022. I'll call it like this explosion of streaming services. We got all these Disney Plus shows that are coming. You got all these like, I think even DC, the extended DC universe was going to do some shows. I mean, that's where Blue Beetle was supposed to be. It's supposed to be an original DCU movie for Max. Same with Batgirl. But one saw the light of day and actually made it out to theaters, and one is presumably either locked in a vault or the film negatives have been destroyed. I don't know. I mean, I will say, like, I know a lot of people will credit, like, oh, there's too many streaming shows. I think they actually were good. I think because they kept them at a pretty consistent release schedule. And so you were almost like you built your life around, I know for me at least, I was like, oh, I got to watch these shows now. So they made sure that they at least every, with only maybe like a week or two break in between, had a show, had their premiere show ready to go. Because I remember it was like, oh God, it was WandaVision, then the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and then I think it was Loki. It was like, again, like back to back to back, like several.
And then What If sprinkled in there as well.
Yeah, at some point, but I think it was just like I mean, I don't know. So I don't know when the oversaturation happened. When people stopped getting excited about them, I really can't say for certain. I think just people, we are human beings. We have lives. We have interests outside of Marvel. We can't just watch Marvel 24/7. We crave.
Can we? Can't we?
Well, thanks to the new Disney Plus feature, you can just watch these movies on reboot with no pauses in between.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it I think had to do with COVID, that people weren't going nowhere until it was there. But yeah, it was. I don't know. It is what it is. But D23 is like next month, so I'm sure we'll have like their grid of shows back up, and everyone will be talking about the next Ray movie and
next Ray.
The next they're supposedly making another Star Wars movie featuring Ray from the sequels.
Oh, for some reason I was thinking like Ray Charles.
Yep, yeah, Ray 2, burning in hell. No, I'm going to get canceled for that one. He's not burning in hell. I'm sure he's a very fine individual. I never met him.
Well, he works. I mean, he had that music store in Calumet City.
Yeah.
Damn kids.
Every year they get younger. But let's move on to some other things. I'm going to briefly talk about this because this is my thing, not so much your thing. Some Star Trek news. They're making a Star Trek Starfleet Academy show, which was known for a while, but they announced some cast. Two that aren't too surprising. A few that aren't too surprising. A couple of people from Star Trek Discovery are going to make the jump to the new show. And honestly, the best parts of Star Trek Discovery. Mary Wiseman, who plays Sylvia Tilly, who's probably like the most fun character Star Trek has had in a while. Tig Notaro, who is a comic that I just adore, who had a recurring role on Discovery, is going to be in it as well. So that's kind of cool. But the biggest reveal, and this sort of was like mouth dropped, was the Doctor from Star Trek Voyager is going to reprise his role again to be a cast member on the new Star Trek Starfleet Academy show.
Robert Picardo?
Robert Picardo. Bobby Picardo's back, baby.
Okay, what do you think they're going to say? Because you'll be like, wow, Doc, you've really aged. I thought, are they going to say, like, to better assimilate with human society, I decided to age my appearance or something?
Anything's possible, but here's the thing.
Did they have some bullshit explanation why Whoopi Goldberg's Elorian was, like, fucking 50 years older than when we last saw her, even though she was, like...
They didn't have
the
to
same
explain
age in, like, Mark Twain times.
I think there's a reason they did that. And hear me out on it. Is in that season of Picard, which again, that one wasn't the greatest season. It was like 5 episodes of story that they stretched to 10.
Gotta love it.
But when they went back in time in that series, they met a younger version of Whoopi Goldberg's character, and they had a different actress player. And I think a lot of that had to do with the fact that Whoopi Goldberg could not commit for the whole, because she was in the first episode and the last episode, and then that's it.
Oh, Jesus.
And
love me some Whoopi.
and since they had a younger actress, they're probably like, well, how are we going to explain this away? And so they just made that line to be like, oh, I can age my appearance. That's my theory. Because when they meet her, she's a younger actress, and which you think, well, she's younger, but when they went back to Mark Twain times, she was Whoopi Goldberg.
Yes.
And so I think that's a way just to hand wave that away.
Sure.
So, really, it's a small. People are going to get upset and
in the
bit out of shape out of that.
Two-parter Times Arrow, where Data gets sent back to 1800 San Francisco.
But anyway, the Starfleet Academy takes place in the 31st century, which is like 1,000 years after Next Generation Voyager times, roughly, give or take.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe they'll explain that over all that time his program degraded. I don't know. They can come up with some excuse. It's just cool to have him back. That show is shaping up to be very interesting because in supporting roles they have Holly Hunter playing like a Starfleet captain or admiral or something like that, and Paul Giamatti is playing like the villain on the show.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah.
Oh, I did not hear any
pedigree.
Yeah, folks at home, I want to be a bigger. I'll put this: I want to be a bigger Star Trek fan. I really do. I do find the world fascinating, but I've not really followed much of New Trek as it's been dubbed. I know a general idea of New Trek bad, Alex Kurtzman worse, but I mean that does sound interesting.
You know what's funny about that, and you've hit a trigger for me. Is all of New Trek the worst thing ever? No. Is all of New Trek the best thing ever? No. Here's the thing. No one hates Star Trek more than Star Trek fans. And when Voyager was on the air, and I don't care if any Star Trek fan out there says, well, no, that's not true. It is true. It is true. When I started becoming more aware of the internet at large as like a teenager, when Voyager was on the air, people hated it. They despised it. When Enterprise was on the air, they hated it. They despised it. When the when the Star Wars prequels were released, people hated it. They fucking despised it. But nowadays, it's like the rose-colored glasses. Well, Voyager and Enterprise, they were great. That was true Trek. That was real Trek. It's like that's not the tune people were saying. And now there's like a renewed appreciation of the prequels.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the thing. In like 10, 15 years, people whose first introduction was like this Star Trek, they're going to be like, yeah, Discovery was great. Picard was pretty good too. Strange New Worlds was awesome. They're all going to say that. And whatever the new thing is, whoever's going to be in charge of the series at that point in time will become, I hate so-and-so Trek. It sucks.
Mm-hmm.
I guarantee you that will happen.
It's that weird notion of like fandom gatekeeping and then fandom like unwavering approval. Like I went to go see I don't know if I said this earlier. I saw Deadpool and Wolverine, and I think before that, the other Marvel movie I saw in theaters was Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness. Both of them were not opening weekend showings. They were like a week later. And even still, in those like week later, you still have the nerds who are in there. And I would say I'm an aficionado. Yes, the seal. I call it the seal clapping. I don't know if anyone else has called that, but it's like fucking seals at the zoo. It was like, oh my god, like it's a movie. Just watch it as a movie. You don't have to go. You can be like, oh shit, that's cool. But you always like clap like as if they fucking like it's the second coming. Like it's a film. It has fun stuff.
I went to go see. If you may recall, years ago, almost 20 years ago now, 19 years ago, we saw Star Wars Revenge of the Sith together.
Yes,
in the theater.
I remember this.
Now, you may not recall, I don't know if I mentioned it, but I had already seen the movie at that point. I went to a midnight showing.
Yes, I think I do remember that. Yep, I had not seen it yet. My dad had not seen it. You had already seen it, and you came with us. I remember that.
Yeah. But anyway, getting back on topic
the prequels.
There. So yeah. Anyway, the prequels. So they released that information about Star Trek, and they released a couple of trailers for the upcoming seasons of Star Trek. And I'm intrigued about their first time Star Trek movie that's going to be direct to streaming. And it's a spin-off of Discovery in some ways, with it's about Section 31, which is like the covert ops, black ops, Starfleet thing in the Federation there. So
this I've heard about. Like, I feel like it's been going it's been like in the works again since this like explosion of the streaming service explosion. Like whenever, like, because I think they were like at one point it was going to be a series. Yeah. They were saying, I mean, their big thing was, I think Michelle Yeoh had not won her Oscar yet for Everything Everywhere All at Once, which I still have to see, but I've heard is really good.
It was pretty good, yeah.
But so I think they were really hyping that up. Like, we got Michelle Yeoh, like, gotcha. It's kind of like when The Office. It's like when The Office just coincidentally had Ed Helms pre-Hangover, and then and then the Hangover came out. It's like, oh shit, we got you, Ed. We got the contract.
Or like Steve Carell pre 40-year-old virgin.
Exactly.
Yeah, like that was supposed to be a series, and then it became. I figured. I guess Michelle Yeoh really wanted to do it. That's why they kept bringing it on, because Michelle Yeoh really liked being in
Star
Trek, and she liked the character. So, shit, if you have like a renowned actress like that, and then she wins an Academy Award, yeah, you're going to want to do that. So,
I didn't watch Sorry, I had to plug in my laptop. I didn't watch the trailer, but I saw a headline saying it's. I assume you have watched the trailer for it. So
yeah,
is it supposed to be like some sort of a Suicide Squad type deal?
It definitely has those kind of vibes to it. Suicide Squad, Guardians of the Galaxy kind of vibe to it. So like, I don't know where they're going to go with it. Like the story, this trailer is light on story. So I'm curious to see. I'm intrigued. So I guess we'll find out whenever that gets released. Go from there.
In the 31st century.
I don't know if it's only going to be in the 31st century, because that character.
Oh, I'm not talking about I'm not talking about the fictional story. I'm talking about in our reality. It'll be released in the 31st century.
So at that point, maybe a historical piece, but a period piece.
What is this? Classic. Still one of the funniest lines in any new Star Trek movie of like Beastie Boys
classical music.
Yeah, it's like, that's great.
That's clever. That's because it would be. It would be, I guess.
And the fact that in the entirety of Star Trek, like, no other popular music outside of like classical and jazz has survived. So you're telling me nobody's cranking the Beatles in the 24th century?
I'm sure a lot of that has to do with licensing, but like, but it is weird that like for one of the movies they couldn't license like a random song, or they couldn't put them in references or something like that. And that's what always makes me like when they released the J.J. Abrams movie and they used like contemporary songs, people like freaked out about it. Like, that's not Star Trek. Where's the opera?
Their blood vessels are popping in their head.
It's like that internet meme of that kid who's like looking at his computer screen and he's like,
yeah. Or that infamous shot from Scanners where they take a shotgun and blow that dummy's head off. Um, so I remember only because I only know this because of Red Letter Media, but I guess there's not going to be a Picard season 4. Patrick Stewart is
no. It was always meant to be 3 seasons.
Yes, because Patrick Stewart is a 90-year-old man. Please, for God's sake, just put him out to pasture. But anywho, I know there were rumors that I guess Terry Matalas, who I guess had some involvement with the Rick Berman era of Star Trek, or at least with Enterprise or something.
Very minute.
Okay. Like that's where he got started, and then he took over the latter half of Picard's run, and people were like, hey, this guy actually likes Star Trek and is making a Star Trek show that Star Trek people want to watch.
Which is funny because he was involved. He was one of the executive producers and showrunners for season 2, which was universally despised. But no one likes to talk about that. No one wants to talk about that.
I don't know. I know Hollywood productions are a fucking mess. So I'm going to given the fact that how the clips I saw of season 3 seemed fun, watching the TNG crew, again, they should all be in the retirement home, play with their grandkids, but here they are playing on the Las Vegas Star Trek experience set. But
Star Trek Picard season 3 should have not been called Star Trek Picard. It should have been called Star Trek Member Berries, because that's all it was.
Hey, man. At least they got it. If you're going to do Member Berries, you got to make it at least enjoyable. People like wine, but people do not like grape flavored medicine. That's all I'm going to say on that. But I know that they were talking about like doing like a Star Trek Legacy, where I guess spoilers for season 3 of Picard. Turns out at some point Beverly Crusher and Jean-Luc had a kid. And I guess
let's just make it easier. Has anyone seen Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan? It's that. They just did that.
Hey, it worked. It worked once.
And so that's all they've been doing ever since.
I will say I rewatched Wrath of Khan and Megan. It's a good movie. It is not like the Second Coming of Christ. I will say that.
Do you hate good movies? Why do you hate Star Trek? So I'm doing my thing.
I mean, a lot of people blow it out as like the pinnacle of Star Trek. I'm like, I think it's good, but it's like it could be better. I mean, the stuff that's
hot take.
I don't think it's I always hate the term overrated because I do feel like it's got value, but I do think it is not like I feel like Star Trek has hit different peaks. There are great scenes in Wrath of Khan, don't get me wrong. But I think overall it's a little it's not the magnum opus, not the end all be all.
Do you remember in Star Trek Into Darkness when they redid the death scene, but it was Kirk instead of Spock, and then Spock screamed out to Khan, even though Khan had nothing to do with Kirk's death?
No.
Isn't that great? Isn't that wonderful?
See, that's what I'm saying. Like,
that's
it works.
Cinema. What Mark Casey says is cinema.
It's cinema. Killers of Flower Moon, cinema. Anything else not made by me, not cinema.
I remember seeing that scene in the movie theater, and they're building up to it. I'm like, oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no, what are they doing? And the music's building and building. I'm like, no, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't. And then Spock yells Khan. I'm like, no, why did you do that? Bad movie.
Yeah, no, it's no, Star Trek Into Darkness is not Wrath of Khan. I'm not saying Wrath of Khan's even bad. I'm just saying it's
the worst movie you've ever seen. I got it.
Okay, fine. I hated it.
You're like, the Star Wars prequels and sequels are better than Wrath of Khan.
I think Into Darkness should be the only Star Trek movie in existence.
Into Darkness, I'll defend that movie partially. That's like 4/5 a good movie, and then it just shits the bed towards the end.
Yeah, because well, I mean, that's a fucking case of member berries. And JJ, I think that's what that's at the point I think it was at the point when people started to realize J.J. Abrams' mystery box has its limits. Because it was like Benedict Cumberbatch playing, what was it, like Ben Harrison, or it was some generic name.
Yeah.
And everyone on it's Econ, and then it's like, oh, it's Con, oh my god, like is it like again seal clapping like.
Wait, we're way off topic, but going back to the Star Wars prequels, when I saw the midnight showing of the Revenge of the Sith, like anytime Yoda did anything in that movie, people were like, yeah! Yoda would have like lifted his butt and like squeezed one out, and people would have been, fuck yeah!
Burrito had bad gas. It did cause.
One other quick fun story about that experience was before the movie began, there was like all these nerds up in front of the movie theater with like their lightsabers having like a duel, and like this one guy like comes marching down, like I want to get in on this, but by that time the duel, like, people stopped, and so he's like there by himself like, oh, and then all of a sudden this guy I sort of knew, he wasn't with our group, I knew of him just by in college, came way back from the theater with a lightsaber that he got from someone. He looked like a frat boy kind of guy, but I don't think he was. So he comes like charging down and just like wham, just like whacks him against like the arm with like the lightsaber. It was pretty amusing.
I'm just thinking like that Monty Python bit where it's like he's running in the distance, just getting closer and closer, building up steam.
Oh yeah, and the guards are just kind of like standing there.
Yeah, like, or God, did that lone Jedi, like, as he realized
he was in the robe too. The Jedi was in the robe.
Oh God, of course he was.
The other guy just looked like a regular kind of frat boy. It just came up there and just wailed on him, just one hit.
I'm just imagining him standing there, in that area in front of the screen, just alone, realizing no one was there, his lightsaber slowly just going down in defeat. Like, oh. Okay, so we traveled back in time for the prequels. Prequels are good now. There's a phrase, actually, I did want to share earlier. Internet wisdom, we'll call it. I think it was like yesterday's bullshit, tomorrow's nostalgia. And I think that applies to any sort of fandom. Just, if you hate it now, you may not like it now, but your kids will love it.
Yeah, Back to the Future.
Yeah, there we go.
Well, think about another thing that people are going to hate right now, but the kids are going to love it. In actual comic book news at a comic book convention, DC announced that they're launching a new line of comics called Absolute. And this Absolute comic book line is going to be sort of like their answer to Marvel's Ultimate Universe. Now, this is the third time DC has attempted this.
Jesus fucking Christ. How many? Because, what was it, New 52? There was the Rebirth era.
Well, no, this is different. New 52 and Rebirth were their main continuity.
Right.
So this is like back in the mid-aughts, DC started a line called All-Star. There's All-Star Batman, All-Star Superman. There's supposed to be more All-Star lines. Now, I'm details on fuzzy if they're all supposed to be connected to one another or if they're just offshoots. But it never gained traction. I think there was an All-Star Superman and an All-Star Batman and Robin, which that made the infamous "I'm the goddamn Batman" famous.
Oh. Was that Frank Miller? Was that Frank Miller?
Frank Miller and Jim Lee. I don't know if that comic ever actually concluded, but whatever. There was All-Star Superman, which actually was really good. People like that. It was done by Grant Morrison. But that didn't produce all the All-Star stuff that was supposed to. And then DC started a new thing which is actually pretty good, but they didn't. I don't know if sales were bad, but they didn't commit to it. I don't know. It was called Earth One. There was like Superman Earth One, Batman Earth One, Wonder Woman Earth One, and these weren't ongoing series, but they were graphic novels.
Okay.
And they released like for the Superman, they made 3 of them, and they released them like once every 2 to 3 years, kind of like a movie. And they're kind of, I thought it was new takes on the characters, modern takes on the characters. Didn't I don't know. I don't know what happened with it. And so now they're trying this again, and I encourage you to Google Absolute Superman, Absolute Batman to see some of the images that they're putting out.
I think I saw one already. It was of like Batman, and he's just and it's like
he's like a fucking tank.
Yeah, he's like his chest is like 6 feet wide.
Yeah.
It's like Rob was it like that
infamous
drawing? That infamous Rob Liefeld drawing of Captain America, where it's like, what the fuck is this? Where's the anatomic? But yeah, because I know I've not been reading comics lately, but a lot of the nerd channels on YouTube sometimes do comic book updates. I know that the YouTube creator comic historian who recently passed away. But I think his channel, there are people still on his channel producing stuff on new comic book runs. I know the new thing is this Absolute Power, which
it's more or less lead into this new thing.
Yeah, which because I think right now it's like I think the gist of it, I guess Amanda Waller's gone full on supervillain instead of being like morally gray. She's just straight up evil. And I guess she's using Amazos to rid the superheroes of their superpowers
and
make her
own
Justice League. Which that surely won't backfire because Amazos always never go evil or want to destroy everything.
Charles, they're called Amazos, which is short for amazing. So do the math. They're going to work. It's going to work this time.
This time, we worked out the kinks.
They saw my adventures with Superman, saw what does and doesn't work. Just don't get near Brainiac and you'll be fine.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all fine. Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, oh man, her goose is cooked after that kerfuffle. How many civil rights did we let you waive and money we spent on your robot army and it didn't work at all?
But hey, Lex Luthor got a company out of it, so win-win.
Yep. Him and Wade Wilson, I guess they made up and they're now they're striking out on their own. Yeah, there you go.
But yeah, so I'm curious. I mean, this has been teased for a while. This ultimate absolute DC. We'll see how it goes. I was for a while there reading the Ultimate Spider-Man, the new version of Ultimate Spider-Man that they just came out with this January, where Spider-Man got his powers as a 40-year-old and has 2 kids married to Mary Jane. Start off great, but man, I had to drop the comic because each issue was like $5. I'm like, fuck that.
Not much story in each issue.
Well, yeah. I mean, there isn't. I mean, the first issue is like, whoa, this is really good. But like ever since then, like it's not that it's bad. It's just kind of like I don't want to spend $5 per issue. I mean, on one hand, it's like it's cool to get like a full run of something, but like on the other hand, it's like, it's $5 per. That's pricey. When I can get like the collected edition for like, let's see, 5 times 6 is what, $36? No, $30. And I can get the collected edition for like half that amount.
Yeah, I mean, this is why if I'm going to buy a comic, I'll get like the omnibus or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like, one, comic books aren't like the most sturdy thing put together. You know what I mean? Like, I'm talking about just the physical structure.
Yeah.
So it's like I'd rather have a nice paperback. I can just sit there. Sometimes with a little artwork in the back, things like that. But so absolute, not absolute power, but just absolute is supposed to just be retellings of their origins
well, details are light, but it seems like they're taking new takes on it. Like Batman is not a millionaire. He doesn't have all the resources. He's like an electrical engineer in Gotham.
Jesus.
Superman doesn't have like his family or his Fortress of Solitude. Wonder Woman doesn't have Paradise Island. Like they're like stripping them down, which can sound interesting. But like, how long is this going to be a sustainable, ongoing thing, or is this just a temporary event? Because, and where Marvel did this right with their Ultimate Universe, they had like one title release kind of at a time, just a little bit here and there. DC's releasing like 7 of them within like a month of like Ultimate Flash, Ultimate I don't know, other ones, maybe Green Lantern, Ultimate Martian Manhunter. It's like, why do we need an Ultimate Martian Manhunter? What? So like, I don't know if this is I'm curious on the legs on this. I mean, I'll get the first issue of Superman just because I'm curious and I like Superman, but yeah, I don't know.
I'll try to see what the actual lineup is going to be. See what our friends at IG, our competition IGN says.
Yeah, they're afraid of us.
Oof. Well, I'm like I'm like DMX. All right, I'm gonna start barking at him in about a minute. Let's see. I'm trying to. So yeah, Absolute Batman, Absolute Superman, Wonder Woman, Flash, Green Lantern. Doesn't say anything else. Just Flash and Green Lantern, I guess.
Okay. I thought I heard Ultimate Martian Manhunter, but maybe that was not accurate. But I don't know. I don't know. We'll see.
Could be good.
Could be good. Anything could be good, as I've heard on other podcasts.
Yeah, it's better than nothing. Speaking of DC, probably the most not surprising news, but news that made me happy. I don't know if it made you happy, just because we've done a couple podcasts on it already. My Adventures with Superman, season 3 got confirmed.
Yay!
We got a few things of what's to come. I guess we got 90s Superboy, Connor Kent. He'll be there, so Supergirl will be in the main cast. I'm trying to think
I would assume she would be.
Yeah, I think they released what I think is going to be like, again, going for the anime inspiration, where they have like a, that one picture of like all the villains that Superman's going to fight. Lex is going to be bald at some point. Probably, I'm going to assume either he's going to start pulling his hair out or something kryptonite. It's usually something like that, right?
I hope they go with the Silver Age origin, where he's doing an experiment and Superman accidentally, blows out the experiment, which accidentally causes Lex's hair to get burned off, and so he holds a grudge against Superman from there on out because of that.
That's great.
That's a real thing, folks. Look it up.
I know Luthor also stole 40 pies. That was a meme, I think, that was shared around in some of the DC circles. But what else? I think next season they're Cyborg Superman. So I guess because I think that was one of the because they had Hank Henshaw in season 2, but he got blown up. So I'm assuming he's going to get.
So they did kill him off, or his thing blew up, because I wasn't sure if he died or not.
I had to go back, but yes, he did. He was in like in the fighter planes, attacking Brainiac ship. Brainiac just like blew him up. So I assume they're going to like $6 million man him, and they'll probably say some line of like, "You'll be like a cyborg Superman" or something like that.
Ah, and they introduced Steel last season.
Yep.
So we just need the Eradicator.
They actually did mention, I think in the season 2 finale, they mentioned like some sort of program that Brainiac had over Supergirl, It was like Eradicator Protocol Activate.
Oh, that's right, they did.
So they could do something like that. Possibly, I think one of them might be Zod. That looked like they could be. I think in that image, I'll have to look it up again. I don't know who else is. Let's see. Adventures with. But no, I mean, I'm just happy that show's getting a third season. I don't need to know much. I really don't know need to know much more than that. Just the fact that there is going to be a third season, I think, is great. Yeah, because if you're not watching it, it's one of the best, one of the better DC animated shows that is coming out to date. I have not watched, as of this recording. I plan on watching the new Batman show, but I think it looks a lot of. I think this goes back to just the changes in animation technology. Like Batman the Animated Series looks just cool because the way it was shot, it was shot on film. This is digital, so all the lines are really crisp. All the animation models are really, all the character models are on point. There's not that weird. There's not. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I've watched Cape Crusader, and okay. I've seen the 2 episodes. I've seen 2 episodes so far. It's good. It's entertaining. It's literally Batman the Animated Series, but with they did it. They 15'd it. If you know what that means.
I actually don't know what that means. So,
well, 15
is sex thing?
No. It's I was told this. I guess they do this a lot with like animes when they try to make a show seem more adult, so they'll put like curse words in it, like 15ing. So it's like, oh, this is like for 15-year-olds. It's older. Like they have some. They swear more, and there's some slight innuendo that the animated series wouldn't have done, but like the style and tone is almost identical. But it's good so far. I'm gonna check it out more.
Okay. Well, again, it's on my list. I'm off tomorrow, so if I might just
binge all 10 episodes.
It's there's sometimes the beautiful simplicity of like all the episodes are released. There's some shows where I do think you need to like piecemeal it out to like get conversation going. Mm-hmm. But I think some like a Batman show, yeah, just let me enjoy it. Let me just sit down and enjoy it. That's all I ask for. I'm a simple man. I think the only other thing in the DC, or what other notes you have on the DC front? There's really another one.
That's all I got, really. Oh, I do have one other.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't get much news about the new DC Extended Universe, but we did get a surprise trailer for Creature Commandos.
Looks fine. It looks good.
Looks fine.
I mean, again, we were just talking about My Adventures with Superman, which I think has a very charming art style, which I absolutely adore. This one, I think, and this could be one of the. I want to get your quick opinion on this. I know James Gunn has said he wants all of his stuff that's under his DCU label to be. I think I'm trying to think the best way to describe it. Transferable. Basically, it's like, okay, if you're
whoever
playing,
voices it plays it.
Exactly, which is a neat notion. But then there's also the differences between animation and live action, which I think a lot more people are starting to appreciate. Before this recording, I watched House of the Dragon, and I think a lot of people are like, I think a lot of people on the Reddit are like, the reason the season's so slow is because dragons are expensive. It's like, yeah, they're expensive for a live action production because you have to make them relatively photorealistic. If this was animated, you could probably have a lot more dragon stuff because you don't have to make the dragon look like it's a real flesh and blood creature that you're seeing. Mm-hmm. You could just animate it because the people are animated. So
yeah, I guess we'll see. I know Frank Grillo is playing
Rick Flag Sr.
Yeah, and he's going to be in Superman movie.
He's one of those like solid actors. Like if he shows up in like even like a shitty action movie, I'm like, okay. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So they're already doing the back and forth with all that. The trailer looked fun. It kind of reminded me in some ways of the Venture Brothers.
Nothing wrong with that. Like I
Yeah,
said, I
animation
think
style and humor, which I still need to watch that final movie of Venture Brothers, but I feel like I need to rewatch the series to refresh myself because
mhm.
it's been so long since the last season came out.
there's
Yeah.
there's a little bit of that Venture Brothers quality. I will say this kind of tying everything together. Only because I've a little bit of that Venture Brothers like quality, especially the League or the Guild of Clamorous Intent in the Harley Quinn show,
Okay,
where the
yeah, I
Legion,
can see that. I can see
where
that. I've only
I
watched the
watched
first season of Harley Quinn, but yeah.
I, I watched the first season of that, and I haven't really watched the rest of it, but yeah, definitely the way they played the Legion of Doom is very much the Guild of Clamorous Intent, where it's just office politics and just like mundane bullshit.
Which that's great. That's a fantastic idea.
If you're going to like plagiarize the best. So
Um,
uh
let's jump quickly. I want to say one quick thing about Wolverine Deadpool.
okay.
I haven't seen the movie. I'll see it when it hits Disney Plus, I'm sure. Um, one thing that really annoyed me is that the day that the movie came out, at least I think it was the day the movie came out,
Mhm.
they had a Comic-Con panel for Deadpool and Wolverine, and they brought out all the fucking cameos.
Yes.
It's like, oh, way to spoil that for everyone who won't be able to get off work and see the movie for another 6 hours.
Well, I'm gonna go just a quick note because I think this is something that's been bothering me for a while. What the fuck happened to midnight releases? Do you remember that?
They've become Thursday night releases.
They're not even Thursday night releases. If I truly wanted to, I could go to a 3 p.m. showing on Thursday, even though the movie comes out on Friday. What the fuck is that? What world? I've gone to so many midnight releases and been pumped. Like, I think the first Avengers, I'm pretty sure that was a midnight release with my dad. That was so fun. And like, no movie theater around me, even on like a Friday night, does a midnight show anymore. Why? What happened to that? Where do we fall apart as a society where we decided that wasn't acceptable? But 10 a.m. on the Thursday before the actual premiere, that's fine. So then my YouTube feed can be filled with all the cameos because I didn't see the Comic Con thing, but fucking Johnny on the spot with their cell phone was ready to film all the cameos. So I got spoiled on everything going into the movie.
Yeah, but you
They're
know
still
what's even?
fun. They're fun cameos, by the way. I will say that.
Yeah, they look like they seem pretty close. They did well with that, from what I could tell. Future podcasts, I'm sure. But one thing that's a little sadder than that, is I guess in the movie there's a an NSYNC dance
Yes.
thing. So I happened to go on YouTube just before logging on to this, and one of the algorithm popped up. The what
All hail
song
the
was it?
algorithm.
Bye bye bye.
Bye bye bye. Yeah.
The NSYNC YouTube video of the music video for that song happened to be on my main page, and you know it said bye bye bye, and in parentheses uh, Deadpool and Wolverine movie. And I'm like, huh, that's interesting. And I'm like, it's like, oh, it looks like it's the actual, like, is it like the movie, like it's like, is it the music video they made for the movie, and like Ryan Reynolds is going to show up? I didn't click on it because then I noticed underneath, on YouTube it says how long ago it was posted.
Mm-hmm.
14 years ago. So NSYNC uploaded that 14 years ago when YouTube was a new thing or whatever, or newer thing.
A little
And,
baby website.
and, and just they had to, whoever manages it went in there and changed the title to like get the video back relevant again.
I'm almost positive after seeing that movie that this is Ryan Reynolds' world and we're just living in it.
Fair enough.
The man's got pull in Hollywood. I will say, he is a world class entertainer. Say what you will about his acting or this and that. The man knows how to put on a fucking show. You know, he's got to perform for the troops. But yeah,
Hey, he willed the first Deadpool movie into existence. And what's fascinating about that is I read the script. The script leaked online I don't know, 15 years before the movie came out. Maybe not that long. I don't know. The early, maybe 2011. I read the script of it, and I'm like, huh, okay, this is an interesting movie. It's weird that it takes place completely on a on a what do you call it? But on a
highway.
I thought, they'll probably change it for the actual movie. And when I went to go see the actual movie, I don't know, 5+ years later, I'm like, oh wow, they're using the exact same script. They changed nothing.
After seeing all three movies, I appreciate that they are still. They know they're not like an Avengers, we're going to travel all across the globe kind of thing. They're like, look, we're relatively small movies. We have our sets. We're going to use them to tell our story. Like, it makes sense when you think about the first two in retrospective. And then when you see the third one, you'll know what I mean. Like, it's very much
I honestly, even though I know about the cameos, I really don't know what the actual story is, other than it involves the multiverse, and Deadpool needs Wolverine for some reason. And that's really all I know.
It's there's a little bit of not convoluted, but just another layer. I was talking to my buddy about this. But there is a they're adding another layer to how the multiverse works in Marvel, and there's another rule of like what dictates how a universe can survive and this and that. It's like, okay, we're adding another layer to this fucking onion, which I get. Which, given what we now know and what I've heard some other people talk about, I'm like, okay, I'm kind of now seeing how the pieces could possibly start to fit. But at the same time, it's like, Jesus, we need another rule. Like, this show's got it's like the Loki show had its own rule about how the multiverse works. Doctor Strange had its own rules about how multiverse works, and how this movie's got its own rules on how the multiverse works. In hindsight now, I'm kind of starting to see how they're all fitting, but it's like, Jesus Christ, can we just stick to one basic set of rules? Instead of constantly adding to it, like, just keep it. That's where you start losing people. It's like time travel. It's like, once you start, you introduce the rules first, and you keep them that way. You keep them consistent. That's how you keep a good time travel movie. Once you start adding variables, that's when shit gets all wacky and you start losing interest. Same thing with the multiverse. Sorry, I blacked out for a second. What I missed?
I don't want to go on a rant here, but
yeah. I don't want to be around anymore. Like, then what's the show? I did see the. Speaking of which, the because I guess that was
our standard. I think you should leave reference right there.
There we go. Because I guess that was like Thursday night of Comic-Con before like the big Friday and Saturday are like your big days of like announcements and trailers and this and that and all that hoopla. Mm-hmm. Did you see any footage of like their drone show?
I did. That was actually kind of cool.
Yeah, that's pretty neat. I've never actually seen a drone show. I mean, I've seen plenty of fireworks, but I'm like, okay, I actually would want. That looks pretty cool. And they had a little tease of Galactus. So, which I posted in our chat.
I watched it before they probably took it down.
Yeah.
So it's intriguing.
I like the. I know this is going to sound weird. The Spy Kids aesthetic of like Reed Richards' Bill Nye the Science Guy show. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's the best way to describe it. Like, if you watch the Spy
Kids, they're like all bored, and it's like, why did I blow something up?
Yeah, people are always like, oh, Pedro Pascal, he's in everything. I'm like, he's in everything because the man's good, all right? He is a charming individual, and he knows how to sell a performance. So it'll probably be fine. I like the retro look is good. I think is good. I think they gave a little tease of Galactus in that, which is like, hopefully, I'm hoping that's not just going to be like a one and done villain like Marvel does constantly. Like, Galactus is like a big fucking deal.
He'll be the main villain in Phase 17. He'll be back. Galactus is back, baby.
There you go.
I have no idea how they're doing this Fantastic Four movie. Like, they're doing a retro vibe to it, so it takes place on an alternate universe, but then they're going to be able to come in the main universe. But they're going to be like, this is not our universe, but we're living here now. Like, what are they doing? I don't get it. I don't know how this is going to sync up.
Either
is
they're
it going to be where they like just merge all the universes in Secret Wars, and then the Fantastic Four have been here the whole time? Don't worry about it.
I honestly, that was one of the theories that people are proposing, is that Battle World will be formed, or in Secret Worlds, like all these different worlds are going to be, jigsawed into one like crazy world, and then it'll get rebirthed into a new Earth with one history, again, a la A Crisis on Infinite Earths. And then you can recast Iron Man, Thor, Captain America, all these characters that have died. There'll be new actors, and then you go forward from there.
Let's talk about new actors and going forward for a second.
Okay.
I guess the biggest news of Comic-Con is that
we're finally addressing the elephant in the room after an hour and a half.
Yes. I did not expect us to go this long with everything else, but alas,
we have a lot of opinions.
So the big reveal is that they figured out what to do now that they had a shit can Jonathan Majors as Kang.
Mm-hmm.
And they had to pivot to a new villain. And that new villain is going to be Doctor Doom, which a lot of people suspected. And I have thoughts on that, which we'll talk about later on. Mm-hmm. And Doctor Doom, they revealed the casting for Doctor Doom. And Doctor Doom is going to be Robert Downey Jr., who people may recall played another iconic character, Dr. Really? Doolittle.
That's right. Oh, man, I love Dr. Doolittle. Him, Eddie Murphy, and that talking dog. Oh, it was great. he was in Robert Downey Jr. was in blackface for that one, just like Tropic Thunder, right?
He may have been. I don't know. I didn't see it. No one else did either. But of course they're bringing back Iron Man, but not really bringing back Iron Man. So, like, this is, and also the Russo brothers are back to direct because yeah.
Did you see? There's like some stills from that, and I don't know which Russo is which. Personally, I don't care. They're all interchangeable. Both of them are interchangeable. But there's like one where he's staying next to Robert Downey Jr. He just looks fucking miserable. Like, does not look happy at all. He's like, fuck. I got dragged out to do another. I thought I was done. He's like thinking, I thought I was done. We made some of the most successful Marvel movies, both critically and commercially. We capped it off in a big fuck off battle in Endgame. But I guess, they tried doing the Gray Man and I don't know what else.
Hey, that Gray Man money only goes so far.
I guess so. So they're coming back to the Disney teat.
I'm not surprised, quite honestly, because they've made comments before that they were done with Marvel, but they would be open to doing like Secret Wars. So like that could have been a factor in it as well. So
I get it, and I'm sure they probably because Secret Wars was on the table for a while, so there's going to be the Kang Dynasty and then Secret Wars. So essentially, I'm assuming they're taking the same plot. They're just swapping out Kang for Doctor Doom. I'm assuming. I remember some people had joked before. We keep bringing up Deadpool and Deadpool 3 essentially, but there were some people that are joking that there was that bit in there's that scene after credit scene of the big council of Kangs, and they're all getting excited to invade the multiverse. And there's going to be a joke that Deadpool's going to show up and like set up a bomb, just kill them all. Like that's how they resolve. There, he's dead. He's not coming back.
I am very curious how they're going to like resolve that one, because if they didn't have that sequence, you could not have to worry about Kang at all. But he's there, so like, what do you do? like, is Dr. Doom just going to come in like, goodbye, Kang? But can they legally use any images of Jonathan Majors for that? I don't know what the legality is for that.
It's going to be Kang from the back. You're never going to see his face.
Is it just going to be like, I destroyed them off screen?
Yeah, and there's CGI bodies of Kangs, all with the blue face mask. That way it doesn't look anything like Jonathan Majors.
I mean, maybe that's what they'll do. They'll be like, there was an incursion happening, and I took care of it. I am Dr. Doom. I'm your hero. And I also look like Iron Man.
Yeah, which they're probably going to say he's a variant of Iron Man, which I know there's some people this past week have been like, well, it happened in a What If comic or something like that, where Doom was Iron Man and Iron Man was Doom. I like Dr. Doom enough. I mean, don't get me wrong, but his track record of adaptations have not been great.
Which makes me wonder, like, is this going to be, because like Dr. Doom's a pretty big villain, and he's only going to pop up in like a big villain in like a reoccurring way, and he's only going to pop up like in the universe during these two movies. So is there going to be like another Doctor Doom that will like take the mantle, like the real Doctor Doom at that point? I don't know.
Jesus. Well, I know a lot of people are like, again, going back to the Marvel Nerds fan casting, I think there was like Oppenheimer himself, Cillian Murphy. People are like, oh, he could make a good Doom. I think there was the actor Dan Stevens, who was like, he's been in bunches. Again, one of those character actors pops up in movies, but I think Marvel related, he was in the show Legion, a show that I don't know if people watch, but it was loosely tied to the X-Men. But I guess somebody watched it. It had a couple seasons. But so I don't know. I think I'm trying to get my train of thought together again. Going with Doctor Doom is not a bad decision. I personally would have just because I get it. They have to. I think the problem is they have to show, oh, we are willing to make changes. We're not, the ship can turn. Mm-hmm. We got to show, and we got to do that in a big way. So it's no longer going to be the Kang Dynasty. It's going to be Avengers Doomsday. Again, it's all going to lead back to Secret Wars. I had always kind of thought, in the way they were describing Kang, I mean, you're a big Flash fan, Nick. So I thought the way they were describing him, they were going to make him kind of like the Reverse Flash, where like you could defeat him over and over again, but he still just keeps coming back because because of all the time travel and paradoxes and this and that. Like I thought at some point that's why Kang was going to be such a big threat. Like it didn't matter if you defeated one. The idea of Kang persists throughout the multiverse. There'll always be a Kang to stop or something along those lines. I thought that's what the whole shtick with him was going to be. But I guess now that's not going to be the case.
Maybe that'll be like maybe Dr. Doom as Iron Man he comes to like, he's a multiverse variant and he comes to like our world. He looks like Iron Man. So everyone's like, yay, Iron Man. He's like, all right, we got an incursion. I need a team of heroes to like stop this incursion. And they do that. They just drop a bomb in like the Kang house, and they eliminate all of them. You don't even need to see them. You just eliminate all of them, and like, yay! But that furthered his plans to do whatever the fuck he wanted to do.
We'll come back to that quote in a couple of years and see if we were right. That very much sounds like a Doctor Doom plan, because Doom is like, he's one of those comic book villains because it's like, the best way I could think, the way I would describe Doom is he's an asshole, but he's not wrong.
He's our asshole.
Yeah, that's kind of the best way. Like, not the way I would have gone about it, but he's not wrong. I think there's been several, like, I'm pretty sure I've seen like quotes or like clips from comics where like several gods or cosmic beings are like, yeah, Doom would probably be the best one to rule the human race. He's got his shit together. But then that pesky Reed Richards is always standing him up.
Speaking of Reed Richards,
Mm-hmm.
Here is, if I was in charge of Marvel, and again, I don't know all of what their plan is, so maybe this wouldn't work in the grand scheme of things. But here's what I would have advocated for a pivot from Kang.
Okay.
So, are you familiar with the character the Maker from Marvel Comics?
Oh, was it? I've heard the name. Okay, I have a few details about him. I'm just trying. I'm trying to think. Let me. The name sounds really familiar, but I just cannot put my tongue on it.
So, in the Ultimate Universe, there was a Fantastic Four team, and Reed Richards went evil for reasons, and he became a big multiversal villain. He stretched his head out big and became a big bad guy. And when they shuttered the original multiverse, the Maker came over. And the Maker was big on trying to manipulate events and changing multiverses and all of that. I would have had them pivot to him and then get Miles Teller to play him.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, that would have been funny. That would be pretty good. Yeah.
Because Miles Teller is still a pretty big name. He was just in Top Gun. But he's not like too A-list. It's a familiar character. It feeds into the multiverse, and it gives a little of that fan service that I think people would still, even though no one likes that movie, I think people will appreciate that. Like, oh shit, they're bringing that back.
Can I give one? It's like a very minor spoiler for Deadpool 3. It's not even part of the movie itself.
When they kill Johnny Storm?
They do kill Johnny Storm, yes. This is so it was put up. This is the second time the MCU has killed a member of the Fantastic Four in a horrifying, brutal way. But no, in the it's funny you bring up Miles Teller and Fan Four Stick, because in the end credits for Deadpool and Wolverine, they kind of pull at your heartstrings a little bit because they play like a behind the scenes montage to Green Day's Something Unpredictable.
Oh, yeah.
And they have clips, the Bryan Singer X-Men. They have, I think, one of Elektra, and of course, Chris Evans, Johnny Storm. But then they also have weirdly clips of the fan of like the 2015 Fantastic Four, which is odd, just because, like, if again, Michael B. Jordan, Miles Teller, Kate Mara, any of those people who are in that shitty or in that version of the Fantastic Four showed up in the Void, that would have been funny, and also just kind of like it makes sense. But it's weird that they got a mention. I thought everyone was trying to universally forget that movie even existed, except for Denny's and their Thing Burger. But I do think that was kind of fun, that it's interesting you brought that up, because that's like, well, Miles Teller did get in the sad Green Day montage at the end.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think that would have been an interesting way to go. And then they could still bring about Doctor Doom as like a reoccurring villain, a la Loki or something.
Yeah, but then the thing is, like, okay, and this goes back to, I hate to be ageist, like Tom Hiddleston is relatively young. He could still play Loki probably for another 10 years without being like noticeably like Robert Downey Jr. in the time of Endgame to now. He's got the old man thing going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's lost some weight. He's got, again, he just wants, let him out to pasture. I know Disney pulled up a semi truck full of cash, of unmarked dollar bills, I assume. But it's just one of those things where I don't, because one, we're going to get Doctor Doom's Adventure Zone, which I'm not saying that, he hasn't been. He has. but traditionally he's always been his rivalries with Reed Richards.
Right.
And then the biggest criticism of the MCU is like, man, every villain has some weird connection to Tony Stark.
Here we go again.
Here we go again.
Even Thanos somehow knew Tony Stark.
He's just that good. Which does bring up like the kind of like the Batman question, like is Tony Stark the result of all these villains existing, or are all these villains existing the result of Tony Stark? Who's the bigger villain here?
There's a theory I heard that there's going to be a CGI, not a CGI, an AI Tony Stark that pops up in the movie that somehow fights Doctor Doom.
I think that's something I heard that happened in the comics recently, where Tony was dead. There's an AI version. Comics are stupid and weird. They throw shit at the wall and see what sticks.
Really, they do. And people who complain about like comics now are dumb, like they've always kind of been dumb.
Yeah. Again, the best DC story of all time is the reason that there are so many ape-based villains is because, again, there was a comic book that sold really well, and the editor at the time said, it must be because they've got a goddamn ape on there. So I want all you writers to start putting giant gorillas in your comic books, and we're going to sell like gangbusters. Here's the biggest question, besides Robert Downey Jr. showing up for a paycheck. I mean, come on. I mean, I don't know what else he's been doing. I mean, he got his Oscar from Oppenheimer, so it's like, okay. I mean, might as well make some fucking cash. Yeah. I hope to God. Okay, I'm getting sidetracked, but I hope to God it's not like a Bruce Willis situation. Like, very sad. But like, he found out like he's got this mental deterioration. So it's like, I'm gonna just pump out a bunch of shitty movies, make a bunch of money, so that way my family can live, kind of live off the residuals. Kind of like a not quite as evil Walter White situation, but instead of making meth, he's just making shitty action movies.
Can I just say I love how Red Letter Media forced the Willis family to come out with that.
It's like one of those things where I wonder if they felt bad afterwards, but it's like, well, we just saw the writing on the wall. Hey, they're doing real journalism there in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. But what was I going to get at? So do you think Robert Downey Jr. is going to do his normal like Tony Stark voice, or you think he's going to try to put on a fake European accent?
I truthfully believe that they'll play up the
Tony Stark connections.
The Tony Stark connection, but then it'll be revealed it's all a ruse, and then Robert Downey Jr. get to do some real acting.
I mean, he's still got it. Again,
yeah.
he was great in Oppenheimer. I mean, he was fantastic. I mean, he was fucking despicable in that movie.
He'll be the guy who's playing the guy who's playing another guy.
I'm the dude playing the dude disguised as another dude.
That'll be that. Kevin Feige watched Tropic Thunder one night, late night TV as he was falling asleep, heard that line, and went, "That's it. That's what we're doing, Dr. Doom."
I wonder, like, who else is kind of like your Avengers level threat? We've already wasted Ultron, so we can't go back to him. We're not really touching any of the X-Men stuff yet, because I guess after the multiverse, it's going to be mutants. Which I assume is going to be because we rebooted Earth's history, so now it's one Earth, one history with mutants have been here all along, or we're learning how to live with mutants. Hugh Jackman's going to still be doing Wolverine till he's 90, as quoted by Deadpool. And that's not a spoiler. That was in a trailer.
What was it in a trailer? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the Marvel Universe at large. Galactus could have been an Avengers level threat. In fact, in the aforementioned Ultimate Universe, Galactus was an Avengers level threat. He popped up once. They had like a trilogy of miniseries that built Galactus up, where like the X-Men, the Fantastic Four, and their Ultimate Universe Avengers team had to team up to take him down. And I'm not as familiar with all the huge villains. Doom, of course, would be a good one because he's kind of like everyone, everywhere kind of villain.
What about Mole Man? Let's bring back. Let's have Mole Man be the villain.
Or
Stilt Man.
It's Hans Moleman. Make him be the villain. Disney owns him.
That's true.
Man getting hit by Infinity Gauntlet. Doing.
Bing. I guess Wilson Fisk is, I guess, now part of the MCU, or Vincent D'Onofrio's Wilson Fisk, because he was in Hawkeye, the show Echo that nobody watched.
I thought people did watch it. I heard it was pretty good, though. I don't know.
You know what? If there's a rainy day or if I got like the flu, I'll put it on.
I've not. The only Marvel show I've watched was Falcon and Winter Soldier. Oh, and I watched the first seasons of What If and the other one,
WandaVision.
Loki. I never watched WandaVision.
Really? I thought we did a whole topic on that. Oh.
You did, but I wasn't a part of that episode.
Oh, you were okay. Yeah, I'm just looking. But we can't. I was gonna say we can't use MODOK. He got turned into a joke. A big weird CGI head. Which I guess I don't know how else you do MODOK.
I mean, MODOK's there's no good way to do MODOK, and because they also did AIM as well in Iron Man 3.
Yeah, they kind of fucked that up too.
They probably just didn't want we got Hydra. AIM's basically the same thing. We'll just name drop it, and the nerds will be happy.
I'm looking right now. I guess I'm looking at potential villains. The only two that I see on this like Google image, a quick Google image of like popular Marvel villains that I think could work. Mephisto, basically Satan. Although is that kind of taking a leap? Like we're going from fighting an evil robot to the literal devil or Lord of Hell because again we can't use Satan exactly. Or Mr. Sinister, but that's more of an X-Men villain. I don't know if he's ever really gone against the Avengers per se. But I guess who's left?
I don't know. I mean, they could find any villain and make him out to be a big bad under the right circumstances, but I don't know. They've also the Marvel Cinematic Universe, there's so many characters, so much you can do. I was kind of bummed they never truly brought back the Red Skull as a villain, but like, what are you gonna do?
I was actually thinking about that the other day. I was like, I'm surprised, like, because I know they did this in there was an Avengers cartoon that came out in the early 2010s, Avengers: Earth's Mightiest Heroes.
Mm-hmm.
And they did a twist where like the Red Skull survived, but he was disguised as like a United States senator.
Oh, that's in the comics too.
That was
he Del Rusk?
Yeah.
I think that originated from the comics.
I almost wonder if at one point when the Russo brothers were writing that script, if they didn't consider having Robert Redford being like a surviving Red Skull or like the son of the Red Skull or something like that. Like
I'm glad they didn't do that.
They could have very easily, right? Like the last third act ripped off like his fucking face, and it's like Robert Redford and fucking Redface.
Oh God, I mean Redford's pretty politically liberal, but I could see like, okay, Robert, in the third act of the movie, you're gonna have like a red face. He's like, got it, and he shows up to work like the next day in like full Indian garb.
Oh
no, not that red face, not that red face. Then the people taking pictures.
Hey.
Taking a picture off to Twitter. Canceled Robert Redford.
Fun fact: Megan did not know that the Sundance Film Festival was named after Robert Redford's character, the Sundance Kid.
I did not know that either.
Really? Oh, okay.
I just never cared, I guess, enough to look it up.
Fucking great movie, by the way. Anywho,
not as good. But Star Trek 2 not as good as it though, right?
Yeah, not as good.
The worst movie you ever saw.
Worst film ever made.
You're on record saying Star Trek 2 sucks.
Yeah.
I'd rather watch Rise of Skywalker.
Oh God, I could tolerate the prequels. I could enjoy them for what they were, but I don't think there's any way to enjoy Rise of Skywalker. That movie is a fucking mess from start to finish. Who's in Nick? You're more knowledgeable of the comics. Because I know I was reading comics back in like 2015 when they had the most recent version of Secret Wars, which I'm assuming that they're going to base this movie around. I think Doom becomes in that version. Doom basically, it's very similar to what they're doing in the movies. There's incursions, worlds are dying. Doctor Doom, I think it's like Doom, the Molecule Man, and Stephen Strange basically create Battle World as a way to save the multiverse or save what remains of the multiverse. So I assume that's what they're.
No idea.
Okay,
but maybe they'll do that. I don't know. Stephen Strange has that other eyeball, so anything's possible.
Sure. Why not?
That's what an average Marvel meeting goes. And then this will happen. Kevin Feige's like counting his money. Sure, why not?
Go for it.
Is it cinema? Let's do it.
Yeah. Do you think they're? Do you think Marvel's gonna like break down to like a period drama or something like that? I'm surprised they haven't gone full on like we're gonna make a rom-com, or just like fucking break the
like
mold.
Like the Black Widow movie from SNL.
Yeah, I still remember. Yeah, I still remember when that came out. I think that was right around when Supergirl had her first season. They're like, oh my god, they did it for real. They did it for real.
Which, if you ever watched Supergirl, yeah, they have. There's no more relationship stuff in that show than there is in like The Flash.
Yeah, but it's a whammon.
It's true. We can't have that.
Can't have that. Can't have a female lead unless it's Captain Catherine Janeway, who. I guess you must have a little Star Trek little Star Trek happiness because I guess Prodigy got a season 2 on Netflix.
Yeah, I watched 2 episodes. I haven't gone back yet. I need to catch up because if no one watches it within the first month, it ain't getting into season 3.
Nope. But hey, I guess it's like a Voyager continued kind of because isn't like in the Delta Quadrant.
So yeah, there's a lot of Voyager connections to it, including Robert Picardo in the new season.
There you go. Well, I figured Netflix like they had Catherine Mulligrew on standby because I think she was in Orange is the New Black.
Oh well, she was on Prodigy when it was on Paramount. So
yeah. Oh, I know. Oh, yeah.
Do you? Because I thought you hate Star Trek because you hate Star Trek 2, The Wrath of Khan. You've said this many other times this episode.
I
can't let that go.
If I could, I would kick William Shatner directly in the nuts for making that film. I'm going to just double down on this.
Fine.
Yeah, be like, it's coming in now, Kirk.
That's a Star Trek 2 reference.
There you go. It's got some Again, I don't like to lose.
Just let me take the shovel away. Let me just take the shovel away from you.
As I think I need that. So yeah, Marvel's dead. Marvel bad. DC bad. I'm just gonna watch. I guess the only other piece of news I knew from Comic-Con was Rings of Power. So I'm gonna just binge that nonstop. Good, Lord of the Rings continued, but we don't have full rights from the Tolkien estate, so we gotta very carefully cherry pick what we show.
What a weird situation.
Yeah, no, but it's like, do you have the rights to Tolkien into Lord of the Rings? Yes and no. We got the rights to parts, but like which parts? Just parts.
We'll let you know. We'll produce the show and find out what we get. Flagged.
we'll see what our lawyers say. That's. I mean, I like the Lord of the Rings enough. I don't think. I'm not going. I don't know about the Scimitar Silmarillion. I don't
know.
care enough.
I watched those movies one time. I've not been back.
So great. I mean, great films. Don't get me wrong, but I have a life, and I'm not going to live in fucking Middle Earth. Sorry, hobbits. But yeah, so San Diego Comic-Con came and went. Well, you said, what did you say earlier? Next month is Disney D23. So
D23 is coming up.
So I guess we'll find out what happens with Star Wars. We'll probably find out Jonathan Majors is going to burst onto the stage in a drunken rage, justifying why they got rid of him. Man, talk about bet. I mean, I like Jonathan Majors as an actor. He's been in some good acting roles.
Yeah.
And he's committed to the biggest role of all time. What if?
Innocence.
What if? Do you remember a few years ago where like Joaquin Phoenix, again, pre-Joker, pre-everything else, everyone's like, Joaquin Phoenix going nuts. He's got a beard. He's like rambling on like Letterman. And then it turns out it's like some shitty Casey Affleck mockumentary or something like that.
I remember that.
And I mean, talk about like a fucking psyop, or like because I think everyone was thoroughly convinced that Joaquin Phoenix had just lost.
You want to be like a rapper or something?
That's right. Yeah.
Like, I remember seeing the David Letterman interview with that, and after it was revealed it was all like a bit, Letterman was like, "Oh yeah, I was in on it. I'm like, "No, I saw that interview. You had no fucking clue what was going on."
I don't even know if anyone's ever seen that movie, or if you can watch, or I'd like to actually watch it, because I think that's like one of the greatest pranks in the history of the 21st century. In terms of like, because
commitment,
fucking commitment, man. Yeah, but no, I don't think Jonathan Majors is doing that. I think he actually might be a scumbag.
Alleged scumbag. Alleged.
No, he was found guilty. He was found guilty, man.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it's not alleged. It's a court of law. I think. I don't remember. I don't keep up with geology. But so yeah, we'll find out what happens more in a month from now, and then after that there'll be New York Comic Con, then C2E2. I'm sure a bunch of other things. Netflix is going to have
Dragon Con with the dragons.
They're going to drag it. They're going to piecemeal this out, all this information for the next several years.
It's the Baimon Sci-Fi Con, where there'll be new things, new revelations every other week.
Yeah, no shit. So I got nothing. I got nothing else. I think that was the big lead up. Is RDJ is back, baby. He's he wants money. I guess he's going to be, him and the Russos are going to get paid a fucking king's ransom to do these two movies. I think it was like, at least for the Russos, it was going to be like 80 million, which is, it's insane. That's just for the directors. And like, I'm not saying that they're even bad directors, but like, fucking Steven Spielberg isn't getting $80 million to make a movie anymore. What do you get for Jurassic Park? I think also because he wanted to make those movies.
Mm-hmm.
The Russos were like, look, we know the secret. How much are you willing to pay for it? So.
Oh my god.
I
got nothing. That was it.
Now, I guess let's see. I guess let's get the one piece of information that we do need. So I guess we'll look back at this podcast in, let's see, 2 years. Is Avengers Doomsday, and then is a 2026 film.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
And then I guess a year later, well, they got the release date. They're just working backwards. May 7th of 2027. Get ready for Secret Wars.
The secret is that it may never be made.
Well, I got nothing more to say. Marvel are bad. DC are bad. Go read a book.
The movies are back. Movies are back.
Movies are back, and then they'll be gone, and then they'll come back again, and we'll keep doing this shit until the end of time.
They need another Spider-Man out now.
No shit. Yeah, come on.
Bring Tobes back. That's another film that people, the Andrew Garfield films that everyone hated, but now suddenly people loved. And they bring us an Amazing Spider-Man 3. No. Nope.
No, those movies. No, Megan and I watched both the duology, and like, yeah, they are the films themselves are dog shit. Like, oh my god, Amazing Spider-Man 2 is just like a fucking how not to start a cinematic universe.
I remember watching that movie the first time I rented it, and I'm watching it at home, and I'm like, oh, I'm getting to the scene where he's going down to his dad's underground bunker that's been sitting in the sewers for like years. And I'm like, man, how far? I'm like, oh my god, it's only been 45 minutes? I feel like I've been here for 3 hours so far.
Well, they're trying to cram everything into this movie and start again, because I guess Sony's big idea was like, instead of an Avengers team up, we'll have a Sinister Six team up. I'm like, okay, so
not a bad idea on paper, but
it's like, but you're making them the protagonists, and I guess they're still. I guess when the fuck is Craven supposed to come out? Poor Aaron Taylor Johnson. Guy's a good actor, but man, he keeps getting stuck in shit movies.
Is it? I think it's supposed to be out this October, but I don't know if it got moved again. December 2020. No, December 2024. Sony wants that to be their big winter movie. Good luck. Good luck.
Here's the thing. They peaked with Morbius because Morbius is that perfect level of good bad film. Like I could. It's the same thing with The Room. Just it's still entertaining even though it's dog shit. Madam Web was just straight up boring and I fucking hated.
Like, so you did watch Madam Web?
Oh yeah. I thought I told you.
I gotta sit down and watch it.
Let's see if we can trap Mike and Corinne into our web and have them watch that too.
I'd love for them to come back. I miss them.
Yeah, but yeah, no. Madam Web is Morbius is a delight. I'm curious where Craven goes. The only thing it's got going for it that the other movies didn't is they say it's going to be rated R, which dumb gore could be fun. That's all I'm going to say, dumb gore. But I guess Craven's got animal powers according to the trailers. Just like, I'm tying it all full circle, baby, before we close out. Just like motherfucking Dr. Dolittle. It's all connected.
Alrighty. I am very tired. This went on way longer than I thought it was going to be. But that's okay. We covered a lot of ground here. A lot of good stuff.
Great stuff. And again, the secret word is pumpernickel. If you know what that is, text me. You have my number. It's 555-55555.
Hey, that's my number, you jerk. So, all right, cuz I'm going to let you go. Thanks for joining us tonight for this. We broke down all the hot Comic-Con news. And then join us next week when we finally talk about Twilight, which is the biggest news of all.
Can't wait for that reboot.
the tri-boot. Twiboot. I'm coining that right now. Anytime someone says that, I want a freaking nickel.
Twiboot.
The Twilight reboot. Twiboot.
Twiboot. Love it. So. Get a hashtag started.
I will.
Timothy Chalamet as Edward Cullen. $1 billion idea right there.
Call me Summit Entertainment or whoever owns Twilight.
Stephanie, we'd love to talk.
So, all right. Well,
my
thanks
ass
for
listening.
listening.
Is gone numb.
I'm not surprised. Thanks for listening, everyone, and we'll catch you next time. Bye.
Bye.
You've been listening to the all-new Culture Cast. Follow us on X. Drop us a line at nick.culturecast@gmail.com. We can't promise we'll read it. Theme music by Dana Vodovaz. Check out their work on YouTube at Vodovaz Music Productions. This has been a Saltwater production. Thanks for listening. I have the copy of the original script for Rise of Skywalker, or what Colin Trevorrow's version. We need to read that and do a podcast on it.
Ooh, just to see. What about a live reading or live retelling?
I guess we could. I don't know. We could get.
We could get on the news. Local podcasters sued by massive Mega Million corporation. We could get on the news, Nick.
That'll help drive traffic.
There we go. It's all about clicks, baby.